CBS News Bay Area Afternoon Edition with Ann Makovic.
Well, right now on the afternoon edition, President Trump in another high-stakes meeting, this time at the White House, the goal to try to end the war between Ukraine and Russia. That meeting happening as we speak, as President Trump now meeting with members of NATO, also meeting with members of Great Britain, France, and Italy, along with Volodymyr Zelensky. Good afternoon. I'm Ryan Yamamoto in for Ann. Right now, President Trump is meeting with those European leaders after meeting Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky at the White House. We now know there are serious sticking points that have to be settled before there can be peace between Russia and Ukraine. And today's meeting with President Zelensky follows Trump's Alaska summit with the Russian President Vladimir Putin. Trump headed into those talks on Friday that Russia wants all those land it was seized during fighting and then some. That has raised concerns from some European leaders, and several are joining the White House for talks this afternoon.
1 year and a half. So we need to stop this war, to stop Russia, and we need support, American and European partners.
This gentleman wants it to end, and Vladimir Putin wants it to end. I think the whole world is tired of it, and we're going to get it ended.
Well, once again, the Trump administration officials said the talks with Zelensky will focus on the possible land concessions in order to secure a peace deal. Zelensky says he wants direct talks with Russia about that. Putin told President Trump on Friday that Russia wants all the land it has seized during fighting and then some. That has raised concerns once again for some European leaders. Once again, they are joining the White House for talks this afternoon. They are speaking as we speak. Those European leaders now seated around a large table in the White House East Room. Both Trump and Zelensky expressed hope that today's meeting could lead to trilateral talks with Putin. President Trump also said he would get back to European security guarantees for Ukraine. He will bring you more on that meeting happening at the White House as we get it in. In the meantime, crews in San Jose have begun a weeks-long cleanup of the city's largest encampment. This is a look at Columbus Park. Earlier this morning, cleanup crews accompanied by police got to work clearing out tents and RVs. Those living there were told to accept an offer of shelter or leave the park by 7 a.m. Today, we heard from homeless advocates who are upset about that sweep.
And we are paying our money, millions of our own dollars, to just harass people, destroy their property, and push them out.
I am not very happy about this, I guess, to say the least. What is happening right now is barbaric.
The city has faced criticism for carrying out the sweeps despite not having enough shelter available for everyone being displaced. Speaking less than an hour ago, Mayor Matt Mahan said the city will soon be able to offer all 370 people living in Columbus Park a place to stay.
We're offering safe, private, individual, low-barrier rooms without a curfew, without a deadline for every person in the park. We need them to choose to come indoors.
The city plans to open hundreds of interim units in the next few weeks. Mahan says 68% of those living in Columbus Park have accepted an offer of shelter and will be able to stay in the park until their room is ready. A public hearing on whether to remove embattled San Mateo County Sheriff Christina Corpus now underway right now in Redwood City. Today's hearing is an outcome of Measure A, a first-of-its-kind voter-approved amendment. It gave the Board of Supervisors the temporary power to oust the sheriff with a 4/5 vote. Corpus is accused of workplace misconduct, abuse of power, and retaliation, allegations she has denied. Attorneys for San Mateo County and Corpus gave opening statements this morning. Retired Judge James Emerson from Santa Clara County will preside over the hearing, which could last 10 days. He will write his own report and submit it to the Board of Supervisors, who will then decide whether to remove her from office. California is joining a coalition of 21 attorneys generals in a lawsuit. It is challenging the Trump administration's move to block more than $1 billion in Victims of Crime Act grants to states that do not follow his immigration enforcement requirements. Rob Bonta, Attorney General of California, says that is illegal.
The U.S. DOJ and U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi have broken the law. They've trampled over the separation of powers, a fundamental principle of our democracy. They're putting public safety and survivors of crime at risk, and they're holding over $1 billion of federal funding hostage to strong-arm states into joining their inhumane and frenzied immigration agenda.
Well, the Victims of the Crime Act was established in 1984 and it is used to provide victims with critical services like medical and funeral expenses, emergency shelter, and counseling. States use the money to assist nearly 10 million victims each year. And California was expected to receive $165 million this fiscal year in grant funds. Okay. Let's give a first look at weather right now. And we're giving you a live look outside. Pretty mild temperatures all across the Bay Area, but changes are coming. Here's meteorologist Jessica Birch.
And those changes, well, they have to do with those temperatures. We're starting to see a big area of high pressure roll in later this week that's going to warm us all up throughout the Bay. And now that it's back to school and, of course, back to work from this Monday forecast, we're already off to a very mild start. I mean, we see 70s returning into San Francisco today, 70s across the Bay Bridge over in Oakland. You take a live look behind me, that Bay Bridge view from our rooftop here at the San Francisco KPIX location. It's clear out there. I mean, we're seeing blue skies currently, and that's the case all throughout our inland areas. If you like this forecast, get out there and get some fresh air today. We have a mixed bag of 70s and 80s widespread from wine country all the way off into the East Bay today. It's looking pretty similar for the Santa Clara Valley too. But let's take Antioch, for example, sitting at 84 degrees today. By Thursday this week, as high pressure continues to roll its way in, warming us up, drying us up, dropping that relative humidity, those temperatures, places like Concord and Antioch, will see upper 90s, even some triple digits trickled in there too. So a big warm up around the corner. I'm going to have more on what you can expect for the rest of the day coming up in just a bit, and how hot those temperatures are going to be for some of our microclimates here in the Bay too. Back to you.
Well, in the South Bay, a 13-year-old boy is due in court after a deadly stabbing at Santana Row earlier this year. Today's hearing is tied to the Valentine's Day death of 15-year-old David Gutierrez. 5 alleged gang members are accused of beating him up before one of them stabbed him to death. Police say the 13-year-old carried out the fatal attack on Gutierrez. Well, today, early voting kicks off in San Francisco's Sunset District. On the ballot, whether to recall Supervisor Joel Engardio. The special election follows a fight over the future of the Great Highway. More than 50,000 voters will get ballots in the mail for the September 16th recall. If Engardio stays, he serves until his 2026 election. If he's recalled, Mayor Daniel Lurie will appoint a temporary replacement. Voters can mail in their ballots, use drop boxes, or vote in City Hall. Also in San Francisco, today is the return to office deadline for thousands of city employees. People who have had hybrid schedules since the pandemic are now expected to work from the office for at least 4 days a week. The mayor says the policy will enhance efficiency and collaboration and boost foot traffic in the Civic Center area. Still ahead at noon and streaming on CBS News, Bay Area talk of merging 2 East Bay colleges. Why some students think it could be a positive move. Well, students across San Francisco are back in the classroom today. The new school year is here for one of the largest districts in the Bay Area. And this morning, Mayor Daniel Lurie greeted teachers and families at Sanchez Elementary School. And as some families face concerns over increased immigration enforcement, the mayor says the city will continue to ensure the safety of children and families.
We're going to do what we've always done, and our sanctuary city policies are in place. They are in place here at our public schools. There's nothing more important than keeping our kids safe, our parents safe, and our community safe.
Meanwhile, the district faces a serious challenge this year, closing a $114 million budget gap. Veronica Macias is in San Francisco with more on how it plans to manage these cuts.
With thousands of students returning for the first day of class and students here at Sanchez Elementary filing in this morning, there is an optimism to turn a page here with San Francisco Unified School District. As students are welcomed back, there's already some tension with United Educators of San Francisco threatening to strike. Already the union of 150 members or so has filed a formal complaint with the State Labor Board claiming some teachers have been underpaid. However, parents with the district tell us that they have faith in the district superintendent, Maria Sue, after cutting the $114 million needed to balance the district budget. Still, that leaves a new set of problems like the latest payroll issues, having to cut 350 staff members, reducing programs, and simply having less support from the district's central office. However, Sue says despite those setbacks, families can count on stability inside the classroom.
On day one, you will have a certificated and qualified educator in your child's classroom.
The district is hoping that they don't have a repeat of a payroll issue they had back in 2022. There's also a big emphasis on a new campaign that's being rolled out called Be Here, stressing the importance of being at school and not missing any days so that the district doesn't miss any vital dollars.
Well, students in Vallejo are also heading back to the classroom today. Children and families got a warm welcome at Lincoln Elementary School this morning. Some Vallejo police officers and a canine officer were also there to say hello. And some schools in Vallejo may be welcoming students for the last time. 7 are on the chopping block due to declining enrollment and funding. 2 schools have already closed for the new school year. The school board will present the school closure list this Wednesday. The final decision will be made in December and will go into effect next year. Big changes may be on the way at Laney and Merritt colleges in Oakland. The chancellor recently announced that the recommendation to merge the 2 schools. Students say budget cuts have hit hard in recent years, and this move could bring more funding and relief. Neither campus will close down. They would just operate as one school with 2 campuses. Leaders also promised no cuts for the next 2 years, giving students and staff a little more breathing room.
Part of that announcement also came with the announcement that there will be no more cuts for the next 2 years. So that's going to have a huge impact on the students here.
Personally, I think just time will tell. You can't really see too far in the future.
The recommendation still needs to be presented and approved by the board, so any changes will take some time. Okay, let's give you a live look outside right now. Look at that beautiful day on tap. Back to our first alert weather. Let's check back in with meteorologist Jessica Birch.
Blue skies everywhere throughout the Bay right now, especially those inland spots. But we're noticing it over into San Francisco and Oakland, too. If you're just tuning in now, today is a beautiful day to get out there and get some fresh air, especially while the winds are nice and light into this afternoon. They'll pick up a little bit more into the evening hours tonight along our coastal communities. But for the rest of us, it's a great day to kick off this work and back to school week for many of us throughout the Bay Area. Now we're seeing a mixed bag of 70s and 80s from the East Bay down into the Santa Clara Valley and pretty much all throughout wine country too. San Francisco is another also addition to that. We're seeing 70s in the forecast today. So a nice warm afternoon right around the corner. But I want to talk about some other changes that we're going to see into the afternoon hours today. Wind speeds already up to around 17 to 20 miles per hour along our coastline. We're going to see that pick up even more as we head into the evening hours tonight in places like Napa and Fairfield, just along that delta. Those surface level winds really filling the bay into the evening hours tonight. And at the same time, we're also going to see those dry, clear skies quickly turn into foggy, cool conditions closer to the peninsula into the 9, 10, 11 o'clock hour tonight with some coastal mist in the areas close to Half Moon Bay and Pacifica into the early morning hours tomorrow. Now, high pressure is building in this week and it's warming us up and it's drying us up. So let's talk about this heat up because right around the corner as early as Thursday, we're jumping from the 80s that we're dealing with today to the mid 90s by Wednesday, lower relative humidity at that point too. And then we jump close to the triple digits into our Thursday forecast. So a late week warm up right around the corner, but don't get used to it because heading into this weekend, temperatures really start to average out, including our inland communities and including the Bay communities too. So what you see behind me, San Francisco, Oakland, Berkeley, all throughout this area of the Bay, we're holding on tight to 70s for now. We'll jump into the 80s for Thursday and then right back to cool, mild conditions heading into this weekend's forecast. Back to you.
Well, coming up, a major price break on a popular prescription drug. Which patients will be able to get Ozempic for half the cost and what they need to qualify. Well, a major change for Ozempic users paying out of pocket. Novo Nordisk is now offering the drug for less than half the monthly price. Eligible patients who have no insurance can pay $499 a month for 3 dose sizes. Novo Nordisk says they want to improve access to the treatments. The offer is available through Ozempic's website or through Novo Nordisk's online pharmacy. And a check on Wall Street right now. There's a look at the live big board right now. The Dow has been going up and down as they wait to see if the Feds will cut rates by the end of the month. But once again, it's now trending in the negative territory, now down about 45 points. We'll be right back. August is Transgender History Month, and we're spotlighting a musician creating spaces where LGBTQ musicians can thrive. A teenage punk trailblazer fronting the late 70s, early 80s band Nasty Facts, KB has always had a heart for empowering artists. So when he moved to the Bay Area and saw that the LGBTQ artists were struggling to get paid for their work, he knew he wanted to do something about it.
I really want to create a space where we can be seen and heard and respected and preferably paid for the art that we create.
Coming up at 5, Lorraine Ayub takes a closer look at KB's journey and the movement he's helped build as we honor Transgender History Month. Well, that's it for the afternoon edition. Remember, we're streaming 24/7 on the free CBS News app. Hope you have a great afternoon.